I read an article that American Airlines is going to stop doing first class seats on overseas flights to Europe because nobody's buying them. But we have plenty of first class seats.
What an interesting lead in that one.
So if you're so inclined, and if you're not, just make yourself comfortable. Good Shabbos, everyone. As you know, Rabbi is not here tonight, so you're stuck with me. He's in New York. He took the red eye out there Tuesday night from Burbank, and his car is parked out there. If you want to leave a note on it that says we missed you or whatever you want to
wash me.
wash me, whatever. Not this route. We don't wash cars.
No, you're right.
Just the windows. But we do welcome each other with Avinu Shalom Aleichem. Whenever you're ready.
Avinu Shalom Aleichem. Avinu Shalom Aleichem. Avinu Shalom Aleichem. Avinu Shalom Aleichem.
In the old days, and maybe soon, we all got up and walked around and greeted each other. But given the current situation, we're not quite there yet. So everybody look to the left and say Shabbat Shalom. Everyone look to the right and say Good Shabbos. And that'll have to do for tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom
We turn in our Siddur to page 120 and 121 as Cantor Robin leads us in the blessing over the Shabbat candles.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As the brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
And the Brocha.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lecha lifnei Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Thank you. And as we turn to 138, we welcome the Shabbat bride. We're going to do the first and the 9th verses. And the Rabbi explained in most traditional congregations that when we do the last verse, everybody stands up and turns around to welcome the bride coming in. And we don't do that here. We did that at my great niece's bat mitzvah in North Carolina, and I almost forgot that we do that. And everybody started getting up and turning around. Oh yeah, that's what it's supposed to.
Where are they going?
Where are they going? We're just getting started. And nobody came in late for that one. So, Makabodi on page 138.
Let's
each other. We welcome the Shabbat Queen. And now let us welcome the angels that have accompanied everyone to the services tonight and will accompany us all home with Shalom Aleichem on page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShavim, Malachei Elyon. Malachei Amayim, Malachei Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Malachei Amayim,
This is when we do the welcome and announcements. Welcome, everyone. I'm Ira Goldstein, Temple President, standing in for Rabbi Mark Sobel tonight. Dr. Robin Kreisberg, our music director, keeping us all in tune and hopefully keeping me in tune and on the right page. And you can't hear me. It's going to be a problem because this microphone only works like that, and I'm probably going to move around. So just remind me. I'll look at my wife and she'll say, just like she does at home. Here she wants to hear what I'm going to say. At home, a little bit. I got to listen to her. I get to listen to her.
You can't be deeper and deeper.
Stop digging, right? There is no religious school this Saturday. It is our post-high holiday break because everyone is exhausted and we need a day to recover. Book club is not going to meet this month. We're going to kick it over another month to November 30, which is the week after Thanksgiving, because the book is new and it's hard to get, and my copy is circulating around. It's not that long, but it's new and people are having a little trouble getting the book. And we also want to get more of you involved in the book club, give you a chance to read it. It's a very entertaining book. It's a very easy read. It's called
Mr. Perfect on Paper.
Mr. Perfect on Paper. It's a romance novel, romantic comedy. You can you cast whoever you want in the various roles. And maybe in a few years, we'll see it on the big screen or at least on television, right?
Yeah.
As you do your shopping in preparation for that holiday on the 31st and then the holiday in November. Want to try this one? Well, I can try moving this up. Is that better?
Yeah.
Just kind of find the sweet spot. As you do your shopping for, like I said, this stand.
Well, that's why I brought over this one.
That's okay. I think I had to get it off the mat, and now it won't bobble around as much. When you go grocery shopping, make sure you go shopping at Ralph's and that you have registered your community club card and designated Temple Beth Emmet as your beneficiary. And we get a little bit out of everything you buy. And if you shop on Amazon, of course, everybody shops on Amazon because the holidays are coming up and they're going to have some really great buys. Make sure you register for the Amazon Smile program and designate Temple Beth Emmet there, and we'll get a little bit of that and do a lot of shopping because we need a lot of money here. We still collect toys for Children's Hospital and non-perishable in-date food for the local food banks. and Valley Storefront. And is there anything I left out? That's because it's Heshvan and things are kind of quiet.
Do you remember the song I used to do with the little kids for this time of year?
Yeah.
There's no holiday in Heshvan. Do you remember? There's no holiday. It's true. There's nothing that we can.
But you didn't bring the music, so we can't do it.
No, I didn't. You're right.
But Heshvan is a whole month, so
Yeah, maybe I'll bring it next year.
yeah,
It's really a funny song.
it is. Right now, we are all going to rise and turn to page 146 for the bar food, the formal call to prayer.
Ready?
As we turn to page 152 and 153 for the Shema, I'll bring one of the Torahs out and hold it. Remember the old days when we used to walk around? We'll do that one day soon. But for now, if you're wearing tzitzit, grab the tzitzit and hold it up toward the Torah. If you're not, hold your book up or just think about us walking around and being able to do that again. Now, let's see, which one's the little? But the little one's heavier, right?
I don't remember the whole yarn on that one.
And the Shema, everyone. You may be seated. And we will turn to page 154. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your uniqueness. The Ahavta, what we're supposed to do, teach to our children one generation to the next.
Asher, Anochi, Mitzvah, Hayom, Alabavecha, Vishinata, Guranecha, Vidivartaka, Vishiftecha, Vitecha, Uvetecha, Vadebra, Uvshakvecha, Uvepumecha, Uvshatamriot, Ayadecha, והיו לתותפות בין עיניך, וכתבתן על מזוזות ביתך ובישורך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אלוהיכם אמן.
We continue on page 157 at the top, the English. Let's all read together. Standing on the parted shores of history. That's not everyone. I can't hear you. We still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go it is eternal Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together, and doing what?
Marching together.
And turning to page 158, it's easy to forget. We haven't done it in a while.
I know, but we're getting back into it.
Getting back into the old ways of doing things. So we all do turn to page 158 for Michamoka.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let us turn to page 161. The Hashkivenu will read in English at the top of the page. Everyone, let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. And in Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai, correct, to Kotel Shalom, Leinu Yaakov, Israel. That takes us to page 162. The Vishamru, the instruction, that reminder actually that we need to take a break and have some rest of soul and of body and of thought, so that we can continue on with clear mind. Vishamru on the top of page 162. If you all please rise. We all unfortunately probably know someone who is in need of healing, whether they know it or not. And this is the time when we join as a community, and if the Spirit moves you, if you can say the name out loud, we will all act as what Rabbi refers to as spiritual amplifier. But if you can only say it in your heart, that works too, and we'll still be able to do that amplification. So everyone,
Francis Sakari. Francis Sakari.
and as Moses said over his sister Miriam, everyone,
Elna Rafanallah.
Elna Rafanallah. Elna Rafanallah. The Lord heal her. And we're going to amplify that prayer of healing with the Mishabera, which is found on page 371. There are 2 verses, and it's a particularly lovely tune, and it's a particularly moving prayer.
Help us find the good, make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
The Amida, the silent prayer, the time for us to say what's in our heart. If you need guidance or want guidance, the prayer book is very good. We begin on page 166. But if you don't need the prayer book to lead you along the way, say a prayer of your own. Let's turn to page 179. We know this isn't a time of peace in the world. And we know that it doesn't look like it's going to be a time of peace for a while. But let us see if we can't hasten the coming of peace with the few prayers at the end of the Amidah here. We're going to do the one in the middle together in Hebrew and then in English. Lo Yishagoy, Elgoy Karel, Lo Yishagoy. Nation shall not take up swords against nation, neither shall they know war anymore. And I like the English underneath, because peace is a process, and undoing peace should be a process as well. So why don't we read that tonight? Don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and make them musical instruments out of them. Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first. And on page 180, we implore God to accept our prayer in the spirit in which we give it. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. And in Hebrew, and on the bottom, a prayer for universal peace, including the recent addition that is becoming more and more adopted in congregations that within this country. I know when we were back east, they added that phrase to it. Everyone, let's start. Osei Shalom, V'Ramad, Uyasei Shalom, Amen Yahol Yisrael, Yahol Shvei Teldel, Hebrew, Amen. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us, for all Israel, and for all who inherit it. Let us say, Amen. Please be seated. Last week, Rabbi noted that the Torah portion this week, actually, I think he mentioned it at Simchat Torah. The Torah portion for this week is gray sheep. And he said, I will have a lot to say about that. And I said, well, maybe not. So I hope I'm not going to say too much. But here we go. The high holidays are over, and we're at the beginning of a new year. And what better Torah portion than the story of a new world? God creates light, and it's good. God separates the waters from the heavens, and it's good. God divides dry land from the seas, and it's good. God causes things to grow, and it's good. Stars, sun, moon, it's good. Living things, it's good. But God looked at everything that was created, and it was all good. Brand spanking new universe. Everything looked good. And you know, God must have said, this is going to be a great world. But then Adam and Eve break the rules about which tree to eat from. Cain murders his brother, and things start to look not so good. As a matter of fact, by the end of the portion, God is pretty much fed up with how badly things are going and thinks about chucking the whole thing. And here we are, a brand new year, all full of promise and opportunity. We start off thinking this is going to be a great year. And you know what happens? Things begin to go wrong. And after a while we say, it's just another year. How many times have we started something new, a project around the house or at work, and some little thing isn't right, and we think, how did I get myself into this? That little mistake or problem is the only thing we see. It happened to me this week. I put up a new porch light, and I had to trim a little bit of wood to make it fit. Turns out I trimmed just a little too much. And you know, that little extra piece of cutting is the only thing I saw. But then I put a smart bulb in and turned it on, and it looked pretty good. And I can make it turn on in the evening and turn off at dawn all by itself. I can make it change colors and get dimmer or brighter using my phone. and it is really good. Things are going to go wrong in the year ahead. Things are going to go wrong at home or at work, but chances are whatever is going to go wrong is going to be overshadowed by what's going to go right. And if we get hung up on the things that go wrong, it's going to keep us from appreciating the good stuff. It may even get us so distracted we never accomplish the good stuff. So as we begin a new year, let's not get sidelined by things that are invariably going to go wrong. Let's focus on what's going to go right and strive for success. It's not going to be a perfect year, but we can make it a good year, even a great year. Shabbat Shalom. We call to mind at this time those who we remember tonight on the anniversary of their passing, as well as those we have lost in the recent months. I hope this is the right list. Bertha Kleinberg, Robert Churovsky, Alan Shear, Solomon Friedberg, R.L. Menachia, Thomas Landolfi, Daria Grossberg, Fanny Rosenberg, Mary Reinhardt. Esther Bat Yaakov Vidayana, Hindu Bat Shifra, Fran Bourne Johnson, George Ashkarikian. I do that every year, don't I? Rabbi usually did. Parker Sands, thank you, David. Anyone, if I mispronounce the name of a loved one, correct me. Orvin Schanzer, Marjorie Robin, Glenn Miller, Rabbi Jerry Fisher, David Weinstein, Sensei Robert Christoph, Alexandra Ben Zion, Rita Pyle, Gig Elliott Jr., Richard Emerson, Robert Dolan, Yazan Falah, Sharil Abu Karat, Amir Khoury, Steve Parker, Debbie Newell, Jessie, mother of Walter, Rivka Bet Herschel, Melvin John Delbrookie, Arlen Meyerson, Robert Cantor, Alex Maharabi, Moshe Ben Meir, Devorah Bat Plony, Devorah Bat Yitzhak, McKenna Lee Elrod, Layla Salazar, Miranda Mathis, Nebai Bravo, Jose Manuel Flores Jr., Xavier Lopez, Tess Marie Mata, Rogelio Torres, Elihana Eli Amai Garcia, Elihana A. Torres, Annabelle Guadalupe Rodriguez, Jackie Cazares, Uzia Garcia, Jace Camelo Livanos, Mate Yolanana Rodriguez, I'm butchering some of it, you know. Alea Nicole Silgario, Irma Garcia, Eva Morales, Mary Jo Garza, Alexandria Lexi, Ania Rubio, Althea Ramirez, Dave Hall, Lila Ramirez, Marcia Ramos's mother, Tova Bat Arya Lieber, Hannah Klein, Tova Bat Arya Loeb, Bill Newman, Jeannie Mintz, Hillary Martin, Jessica Carroll Schaeffler, Vince Scully, Kania Bat Hayim, Robert Hollander, Uri Raffaelli, Gilda Siegel, Donald Goldstein, Jack Cohen. And I was supposed to do that after Elena. Let us all rise for Elena on page 589. Next page is, I'm sorry, 588, top of 588.
Starting with Shavuna Teshumaya.
And we conclude at the top of 591, the Hebrew.
The Ne'emar.
Bahaya Adonai, Melech al kol Yigel Adonai, Ushalom,
If you are in active mourning or here on the yard site and anniversary of the death of a loved one and you feel comfortable in approaching the ark, we don't have people come up all the way, but over here. And if not, you can stay at your seat. In accordance with the tradition of this congregation, we all say Kaddish together. Not, in my mind, not just for those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, but as a show of unity as a community. On page 598, let us pray.
Yitdash Shmerah, Yalma Dibra, Yirtei Yamli, Yisrael, Yisrael, Lagaral, Uzman Karib, Yitbrak, Vishtabak, Ari, Ramam, Vid, Aseh, Vidhadar, 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 Shmidi, Kusha, Rihu, La Ela, Mikal, Behata, Vishra, Tushbeha, and Amata, Vidharan, Vidhar, Vidhar, Yeshua, Adam, Yishma, When Kol Yisrael, Vidhar, Oseh, Shalom, Vidhar, Booyah, Aseh, Shalom, Elenova, Kol Yisrael.
Before we sit, as you know, Rabbi usually gives a blessing to the congregation, but I think it's more appropriate if we all bless each other. So if you can do that, do that. If you can't do that, think about doing that. That's kind of cool. And if you have a free hand, please turn to page 603. And we're going to read the threefold blessing at the bottom of the page. Everyone, may God, and we're going to say us instead of you, because we're saying it for all of us. So this replaces you for us and we. Everyone, may God bless us and keep us. May God's light shine upon us, and may God be gracious to us. May we feel God's presence within us always, and may we find peace. Let us say, Amen. And you can all be seated. And if you want to follow along, you should know it, but maybe you haven't done it together as a group quite as often. On page 123 is the Shabbat Kiddush. Good thing it's not carbon.
I wouldn't do it if it were. Was. But one time I shook it and the lid was on all of it. Oh no.
Oh no.
So now I'm very suspect. Because this is really beautiful. Thank you for waiting. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei b'riat ha'ofen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzah ba'anu, v'shabbat kadisho, v'ahava v'ratzon yintilanu, zikaron l'ma'aseh, b'reishit, v'yom tefillah, l'mitrei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'charta, v'tanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kadishecha, v'ahava v'ratzon inchatanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Thank you, L'chaim. And with hopes that we can all do this in one hall together very, very soon. Cheers.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
I want to thank David for percussion tonight. Give her a shake. I want to thank our treasurer, Eileen Martin, for setting out the juice and bread for Kiddush. You said the blessing, now you have to drink the juice and eat the bread, or else it'll be a blessing in vain. And we will all leave together with
Oh, say
say
shalom.
Ready.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, say
thank you, those of you on the web who joined us tonight.
We had one person.
We have one person.
We had one person. They did not leave a like though. That's kind of sad.
Well, like Bunny watches it the next day, so you never know.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, she watches it the next
Oh,
day.
that's good.
Oh no.
It's about
Yeah.
that.
We are no longer live.